On this episode of the Bronze Metalist podcast, we talk about Arise by Sepultura.
Sepultura.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bronze Metalist podcast. I'm Cale.
I'm OJ.
We're two professional broadcasters. We like metal. We like to talk about it. Tonight, talking about from 1991, Arise by Brazilian metal heavy hitters Sepultura.
Yes.
But we'll talk about all that and stuff a bit later on. First, we're in the afterglow of Thanksgiving.
Yes, mine more
recent.
More recent than yours, yes, because
You waited an extra day.
waited an extra day, yeah. We had turkey and stuff, and Roberta's mom was down, so, I just one of those things where, there was stuff going on in the kitchen. I started to ask if they needed help, and I thought, no.
Just leave it be.
I'm just going to sit over here and go back to killing demons or whatever.
Let the experts do what they know.
I'll be in the way. They will belittle me. I will walk out of the... I'll go into help. I will walk out 3.5 feet tall is what would happen. So, no.
Just let them work.
Yeah.
And, it sounds about right.
Sure.
I had a pretty chill Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Just me, my mom and my dad, and the nephews, my sister, her husband. Was entertaining a 4-year-old for a couple of hours.
Yeah, of course.
Attempting to try and access the more childish, whimsical part of my brain, because I have plenty of whimsy.
Sure.
But it's a slightly cynical sort of whimsy.
That's not appropriate for a 4-year-old.
Yeah, it sounds like an oxymoron.
Hey, we're cynical whimsy.
What's up? It's like, I'm going to say pithy things that maybe a couple of my friends would find funny, but a 4-year-old doesn't care.
Sure. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
It was funny, but it sounded like you were talking about death.
My 4-year-old doesn't pick up, or my 4-year-old.
Your 4-year-old, yeah.
My 4-year-old nephew doesn't pick up on my self-loathing.
Sure.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Just go, maybe on the ride home, he asked his mom, just like, Mommy, why does Uncle Cale hate himself? No, I do my best, but I only have so much energy at the best of times.
Sure.
So it's just like, basically the way I interact with my oldest nephew is just whatever he's doing, I just, kind of flatly yes and. Like, I don't get too terribly into it, but I'm just like, all right, cool. What's going on? All right. Well, sure, I'll go along.
Sure.
That's okay.
Yes.
What's going on? Yeah, sure. Of course. Well, that's because that's the way it is.
Sure.
You're 4. I can't even explain to you. I can't even properly answer the question that you asked me because you won't understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Uncle Cale has a penis.
Fucking John Mulaney joke. She's just going through that phase where she says everything has a penis. Ah, yes. That phase every child goes through. John Mulaney's going to be an interesting dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should be. My dad is John Mulaney. Be interesting.
I still feel like it's weird that, first of all, that there's someone out there whose grandfather is Iggy Pop. I mean, they're...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's several people out there whose great-grandfather is Mick Jagger.
Yeah, I know. And this is the one that blows my mind, that makes no sense, and that is batshit insane. There's a person out there whose grandfather is O.J. Bennett. That's fucked up.
That's pretty fucking wild. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, you see, when a man and a woman meet each other in a bar, they go out to their Toyota Tercel. And
some things happen.
Yeah.
From there on out.
Yep.
Children.
Yeah.
It is weird to me. Mick Jagger has a great grandchild that is older than his youngest child, which is fucking insane. Stop. Stop. Mick, you need to stop. I know you're incredibly wealthy and it's not real financially, it's not a problem for you, but stop. How many just straight up children does Mick Jagger have?
Do you think he knows?
Probably not. No, there's probably a lot he has never met.
There's probably child support payments that are being paid by lawyers that he doesn't know.
It's just like,
yeah.
His lawyers know how many kids he has. He doesn't.
You're right.
That's gotta be a weird situation. Who's that? Isn't there a basketball player that I think it was a basketball player that claims to have had sex with like 10,000 women?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain. There we go. How the fuck? I believe it.
Right.
Because it's Wilt Chamberlain. But
yeah, he had sex with 10,000 women. It was a January.
It was January. Oh, God. What the hell is that from What We Do in the Shadows? Nandor just like, I had 35 wives. I loved 34 of them. Which, hey, he genuinely loved 34 of his 35 wives. That's more than could be said for some, Near East warlords from the Middle Ages.
Well, it's like when I say that I've had probably about 11 or 12 wives.
11 or 12 wives?
Yeah, 2 of them are mine.
Ha 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 ha! You dog, you.
Arf.
No, nuh-uh. Not good.
The ARF?
The ARF was not good.
The ARF
for
was
me.
not good. No,
it was not. I didn't care for that. I decided to stream Gears Tactics.
Oh, sure.
Which is because for some reason I was like, I might not stream that one. But then I figured I might as well. Yeah. Because that one also has the fun thing where you can rename like your recruits that you pick up. And I was like, oh, I could name them after people who follow me on Twitch or people who come into the chat and comment. So I have a couple. And then all their last names are Carmine because there's a family of characters that appear throughout the games. And almost every single one of them has died.
Sure.
In the game that they were introduced.
And their last name is Carmine.
Carmine, which is a shade of red. They're red shirts. I did not draw that connection until very recently.
Yeah. Like the thing that recently I didn't even draw this connection. And somebody pointed out to me that there was a TV show version of Sherlock Holmes where they just sort of changed Holmes to house.
Yeah. That's yep. And what the hell is I can't remember if his friend's name was a play on Watson. I can't remember what his friend's name. Wilson.
Yes,
yeah,
Wilson.
His friend's last name is Wilson. So yes, it very much started out and kind of continued to be, a play on Sherlock Holmes. But I guess it straight up all the way to the point of faking his own death at the end of the series,
which Sherlock Holmes does.
Yes. I don't think
it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, Sherlock didn't intend to fake his own death.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle intended to kill him.
Yes,
and then he had to bring him back. So therefore,
yes, because Arthur Conan Doyle was sick and tired of writing Sherlock Holmes books.
Right.
The whole reason he introduced Moriarty is so there would be a character you could believe would kill Sherlock Holmes.
Sure. And then, like, after a couple of years, he went, wow, cocaine is expensive. I need to write some more fucking books.
I got to write some more books. This is the early 1900s and everybody's on this shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing that people forget. You know, people think about the 70s and 80s. Everybody's on coke. No, man.
Yeah.
1908.
Sure.
Everybody was on coke because it wasn't illegal.
Right. If you had like I got a toothache. Here you go.
And the thing is, it wouldn't even just be coke. It would be cokes. It would be coke mixed with opiates, mixed with THC extract.
Laudanum.
Every fucking drug mixed into one tincture.
Sure.
It's like, no wonder it seems to work, because this will kill you. And if you're dead, you can't be sick anymore.
Sure.
So have I ever told you about Radithor?
Radithor?
Yeah, which
that
sounds like
an awesome character.
Sounds like an awesome character. What it was a bunk medicine.
Yeah.
There was a blessedly brief radiation, a therapeutic radiation craze.
Sure.
Where people thought ionizing radiation was somehow good and helpful.
Gives you superpowers.
Yeah. And so this was a tincture, a tonic that contained an amount of radium. I believe it was radium. It might not have been radium, but some
polonium.
sort of radioactive material that was actively, shedding. It was ionized essentially.
Yeah.
It was the bad stuff.
Right.
And it was, people would drink a little bit of it and they'd feel a little bit better because of some quirky properties that radiation has when it hits your body in small enough amounts, but large enough to be noticeable. But there was a professional golfer in the early 1930s that injured his arm or his back. I can't remember. He received an injury while playing, and somebody said, "Hey, you should try Radithor." And he tried it. He's like, "Wow, I feel really good after that." So he kept on doing it to the point where he was drinking 3 bottles of the stuff a day until his jaw fell off. His jaw actually fucking fell off.
Sure.
There is a picture on the internet of him after he was brought to the hospital. And it is one of the most terrifying and disgusting things I've ever seen. It was horrifying to look at. And they sewed him up, gave him reconstructive surgery. Obviously he died later, but not from his jaw falling off, just from,
Radiation
massive
poisoning.
radiation poisoning. But the same thing, if you've heard of the Radium Girls, there were the women who worked in the clock factories painting radium strips onto clock hands.
Sure, so you can see them in the dark.
So they could glow. And it was recommended that after they put their brushes in their mouths to sort of clean off the tips of the brushes and to get the bristles to line back up again. Same sort of shit started happening to them. Teeth started loosening, rotting, falling out. I think a couple women lost their jaws. It was a whole big thing. And there was I think a massive lawsuit.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like, how the fuck did nobody know that radiation was a bad thing? Just a little bit, nobody figured out. I guess I don't know when Marie Curie died, but I feel like that should have been lesson enough that maybe don't fuck with this stuff.
I feel like maybe in her later days, maybe she met somebody who was taking Radithor, and here's Marie Curie with no teeth or hair, and just taking this radiation makes me feel good. And Marie Curie going, "Are you fucking with me right now?
Stop it. I am literally dying.
It's too late for me."
God, it's crazy that the history of bunk medicines is nuts.
Right.
But yeah. At the very least, most of the wackadoo shit on the market today won't actively kill you.
Right.
It just won't do anything. But
You won't do anything that you're perhaps trying to treat yourself for.
Yeah. But anyway, you want to talk about Sepultura?
Yeah, sure.
Talk about Sepultura.
Yeah, because that's how those guys sound.
So they're from
Sao Paulo.
Yeah, from Brazil. Yes,
Yeah.
what everybody sounds like in Brazil. So yeah, Sepultura is a Brazilian metal band we've talked about before. They're founded in the mid 80s, early 80s.
Yeah.
As a thrash metal band, and they sort of slowly began to evolve into, I think, one of the first, like, you would consider them one of the first big bands in like 90s alternative metal.
Yeah.
Kind of fitting into that paradigm of alternative metal, where it's hard to really, it was hard to place them anywhere particular. It's like, they're not death metal, they're not thrash metal anymore, they're not this, they're not that. Oh, we'll just call bands that sound like this alternative metal, and there we go, nice and easy.
If you really want to, split hairs, if you really listen to like this album and before, it's really German metal. It's kind of German thrash.
Kind of Germany,
Yeah.
Germanish.
Yeah, it's Germanic.
Germanic metal. That probably is like a name for some really racist microgenre.
Yeah.
That's Varg Vikernes' latest big thing that he likes is probably Germanic metal.
Right. It's very much like white metal.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
I thought white metal was black metal that wasn't satanic.
Well, like that has like Christian themes.
Yeah. I don't know if it was racist still. Maybe some of it is.
Maybe.
But anyway, they was founded by the Cavalera
brothers.
I always want to say
Calavera.
Yeah, I always want to say that.
Yeah.
But it's Cavalera. Brothers Max and
Igor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Both of whom would eventually leave the band.
Yeah, because Sepultura is still a thing, but the Cavalera brothers are not a part of it.
Yes. Both of them left Max left the band quite a bit earlier than Igor, right?
I think Igor stuck around a bit longer, maybe.
Yeah. I do not know or remember.
Because Max's wife was the band's manager.
Yes.
Right.
And there was some big
conflict.
There was a big conflict, some sort of big financial conflict going on there. But this album came out in 1991. Was this on your radar when it came out, or did it take a little bit?
No, this was on my radar. I already had I had Beneath the Remains, and I had Schizophrenia. I had those both. I actually had Schizophrenia on vinyl.
Did you have a record player?
My mom and dad did. So
okay.
So they'd be out, I'd be like, Sepultura time sometimes, you know what I mean?
Mom, Sepultura time.
Yeah. I never did get Morbid Visions. I don't know why I never went back and got that, but and these guys were really young when they started.
Yeah.
But like when this album came out, they were I was 17, so they were like 23, 24. Okay. Max was anyway.
Well, and they started, in like the mid 80s.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, this was their fourth album.
I'm trying to remember and just pull up. I got the thing to the side. No, not heavy metal. I wanted Sepultura. I want Sepultura.
You got the new Sepultura album?
Do you think people comment on Sepultura's Facebook posts like "Come to Brazil"? Do you think people comment that? Because that's what happens with every other metal band,
right?
Is everyone's like "Come to Brazil"?
Come to Brazil.
We're fucking
from Brazil.
Okay.
Well, I think they live in the States now. I think
that
primarily
might be the case. Yeah, they started in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Max and Igor Cavalera. And it doesn't necessarily say how old they were, but yeah,
right.
I believe you that they were quite young. Mm-hmm. This would be their second or third album with Andreas Kisser.
Was Kisser not on Schizophrenia?
Let me see here. I think he was. Yes. Schizophrenia was their second studio album.
Yes.
So this would be their third album with Andreas Kisser.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's the good kisser? Do you think this album slaps?
Yeah.
It does slap. I would agree that it slaps. Although it's like, I mean, it's kind of groovy, kind of chuggy, kind of, right. That's their whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, building up towards that style of playing metal that I think sort of, a lot of 90s alternative metal sort of paving the way for the very chuggy, 2000s metalcore scene.
Right.
Where lots and lots of open tunes and open tunes.
Hey, these tunes are pretty open.
Open tunes, but playing the open string or whatever. Open chord.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was scratching my way, clawing my way through my mind, trying to find the term I was using because I'm not a guitar player.
Sure.
But that's why I just call it chugs.
Chugs. I like a set of big chugs.
What's up? I'm Chugs. I'm Big Chugs. And I'm here to tell you that I'm going to drink this town dry. I don't know what this is, like a Mel Brooks character.
Sounds like, yeah.
That would show up and like it would have showed up in Blazing Saddles. Just like, watch out, that's Big Chugs. He's just going to show up and just drink a whole barrel and smash it over somebody's head.
Sure.
I could write movies. I could. When are we going to see the new era of just like laugh a minute, weird comedy movie? They don't make fucking comedies anymore.
Like Airplane or like
like there's every single shot has a gag in it.
Yeah. Zucker movies.
Because like anyway, let's talk about the music, huh? Let's talk about the music. I don't know why I said that at you, like it was your fault. We got off topic. It was not.
Dude, I will take it if you want to blame me for some shit you clearly just did. I'll absorb the hit. Let's just move on.
No. We shouldn't do that. What does Wikipedia have to say about the ratings for this? All Music has it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Q has 4 out of 5. Select has 5 out of 5 black squares.
Okay. All right.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, there's argument as to whether or not this is their best album.
Their best album.
It's this, and I think generally Beneath Remains comes out on top. But
okay, where does Roots fall in that continuum?
Somewhere down there. I don't. You seem to want to listen to it, and you know what? You should listen to that
because it's the one that I know of.
Yeah, that's 2 albums after this. I mean, it's Chaos AD and then Roots, and Roots is clearly where Max is like, yeah, I want to do some experimenting, and you could just kind of, I could just
hear the rest of the band
going,
we don't want to do this.
Okay, Max, whatever you say. It was very entertaining, but it was kind of. It was off the
it was not refined enough.
It was a little off the table. It was a little over the top.
Yeah. Needed some more polish. The ideas needed some more filtering, perhaps.
Right, and because he got tribal members from Brazil to do a lot of the vocals.
That's pretty cool.
And do some of the instrumentation. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's like, this has gone making a total left turn and gone to a strange place. I can listen to that over and over. I can. Yeah. Roots is a good album,
but I mean, think about like Gorguts. Think about what Gorguts sounded like before Obscura.
Sure.
They're 2 completely different bands. Gorguts before Obscura is just kind of like a very boring, very, very regular early 90s death metal band.
Sure.
And then Obscura comes out after like 6 years between albums and melted people's brains.
Oh, Obscura, where have they been? Let's play this. Oh, God, that's where they've been.
They've been in hell, apparently. They've been in sonic hell.
Yeah.
And things have remained weird with Gorguts since then, but in a more palatable way.
Right.
In a way that's less likely to give you like a cluster headache.
Sure.
A sonic cluster headache maybe is the best way I could think of to describe that album. Sonic cluster headache.
I'm trying to think what kind of drink that would be on their drive-through menu.
It's just motor oil.
Very, very cold motor oil.
Cold motor oil with a cherry in it. The black cherry. Floating in it.
Sure.
Drink that. You'll die. Probably.
Probably after developing a very bad cluster headache.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. But what's your favorite song on this here album?
Well, I really like the title cut. I mean, that's just such a great song. But I also love Altered State. It's a great song as well. I don't know. There's a riff in there that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
That just
I was listening
gets to me.
I was listening to this while I was playing Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying the closest attention. But I did really enjoy Desperate Cry.
Desperate Cry, great song.
I quite enjoyed that. It got in a groove with that. All of this was just entertaining and fun, and I liked it. Nothing stuck with me necessarily, but I enjoyed that one in particular. I had to stop and go like, what's this song? Because I really like this one. And I'll have to make a note of it that this is probably going to be my favorite. And I believe it ended up being.
Sure.
I believe it's fair to say that it ended up being my favorite song.
It's one of those things too. I got this album on CD. My CD collection was still relatively small at this point.
CD's nuts. It popped into my head.
Dead. Glad you got that out.
I felt like saying it. Sometimes you can't keep those sorts of things in.
Right.
You just have to give voice to them.
So here's the funny thing is I had a very primitive car CD player. It had a cartridge unit. You had to put the CD in the cartridge and put the cartridge in the CD player, and there was no display. There was none of that. So a lot of the discs I got around this time, like I got this and I got Spiritual Healing and I think Slowly We Rot and things like that. I never learned the names of the songs because I was driving in my car listening to it, banging my head against the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know what song this is, but I fucking love it.
This is great.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah. So
I don't know what it's called though. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the convenience of the modern age. Yeah. Is you can pretty much always see what song it is you're listening to. Right. It's nice, I guess, to know in your heart what you're listening to. And I don't know, I popped into a Devotchka song popped into my head.
Devotchka.
They're like I'm trying to think of the correct genre. It's like cabaret music almost, but like goth cabaret music.
Is there a cabaret metal? Is that a thing?
There has to be.
Yeah.
There's no, it might not be, there might not be enough of it out there to constitute a genre, but there's definitely a band that has done something like it. I believe that to be true 100%, that someone has melded cabaret music with metal at some point. But
Cabcore
instead of crabcore.
Yeah, that's something entirely different.
Yeah, crabcore is just like, I'm gonna say it, bad mid 2000s metalcore mixed with electronic music. That's what crabcore is. I never enjoyed that stuff.
I think it has to do with one music video, doesn't it?
The origin of the term was a particular Attack music video where one of the guitarists, gets in a real low stance like a crab. Sure. While he's playing, and the guitar's like hanging really low too. He's got the straps really wide. The opposite of a Tom Morello approach. Where Tom Morello holds almost perfectly still and has the guitar over basically up to his neck. Yeah. The guitar is in contact with his Adam's apple, and he plays and makes his weird fucking noises.
I saw a video recently, not too long ago actually, of a teenage Tom and teenage Adam from Tool playing in Tom's living room.
Why not?
Yeah.
Because of course that would be a video that exists.
Right, because of course they were buddies in high school. Of course, back in 1940.
Yes, because Tom Morello's that old. Yeah, Tom Morello. Because there were video cameras in 1940 to record when you were playing electric guitar with your friend in your living room.
Yeah.
The very popular electric guitar back in 1940. I think they had been invented.
They might have, but they weren't widespread.
Absolutely not. I can't remember. I don't think the electric guitar became popular till the late 40s, I think.
Hey Siri, when was the electric guitar invented?
Here's what I found from MindExpert.com. The electric guitar was invented in 1937 when George Beecham and Adolf Rickenbacker were awarded the patent for the first guitar with an electric
Did you
pickup.
think she was about to say Adolf Hitler? Was that what that look was?
No, it was Adolf Rickenbacker. I heard Adolf Rickenbacker. Like his name is Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
Like the Rickenbacker guitar.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And then I was laughing at myself for being an idiot.
The face though, because it was 1937, so the face suggested you thought she was going to say
Adolf Hitler invented the electric guitar.
People have been burying this that Hitler invented the electric guitar. Oh my god. That would be fucking wild.
That would be wild.
To just find out like, oh yeah, Hitler invented that thing that we use every day. What?
Yeah.
Like Adolf Hitler invented like toilet paper or something.
Wow, the Moog synthesizer was invented by Benito Mussolini. Yeah.
What's this new this I ran out of juice. I was trying to make a joke about like Paul Pot or something,
Pol Pot.
but I ran out of
He invented the zither or something.
Yeah. There we go. I ran out of steam on that for horrible people who committed crimes against humanity. Inventing musical instruments. That was a bit that that died. That bit died young.
It did. Like that new song by the Foo Fighters.
For a second, I thought you were going to say like that new song by Black Sabbath. It's like, OJ.
You know,
that was years ago.
Them kids in Black Sabbath, the Black Sabbaths. You know, it's
the Black Sabbaths.
Yeah.
That new song of theirs, Die Young.
That Johnny Osborne guy and that
Johnny Osborne. Is his name John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought. Do you believe anyone has ever called him Johnny?
Oh, maybe his dad.
Where did Ozzy come from?
His last name is Osborne.
I'm fucking stupid. Sometimes it's hard for me to fathom precisely how dumb I am. But as you know how sailors, because that's what where the term fathom comes from, where you'd have fathoms
how deep
length and knots on a rope that they would drop down to see how deep it was. I feel like so much of my life is me like sailing across an ocean of my own stupid, dropping those anchors down and trying to see how deep it is.
That's where Samuel Longhorns Clement got his pen name from, right?
You're talking about Mark Twain?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with?
Because if you're measuring the depth, at the time it was in riverboats, truly. But
yeah.
if it was like 1 knot down, you would mark 1 knot. If it was 2 knots down of depth, you would mark Twain.
Oh, okay. Is that genuine? That's
genuinely true.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. I learned something today, and perhaps I became slightly less stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, who am I kidding? I'll forget that almost immediately.
Dude, I know you. You don't forget shit. I wish you would forget things sometimes.
No, I only forget important things that matter. I remember all the stupid shit that doesn't matter and all the embarrassing things that I ought to forget about because no one else but me remembers them.
Sure.
And that's why when I'm like alone in a room, every once in a while you hear me go, God. It's because I'm remembering something fucking stupid I did.
Sure.
It's like if I'm doing logs in the back room and you ever hear me go, fucking stop, fucking stop, fucking stop.
Yeah.
It's probably because I can't stop thinking about some dumb thing I did or said years ago that no one remembers.
And just so if you're listening to this, I hear that daily. I hear that shit. I hear that shit daily at work.
It's at least once an hour that I do that. But
you know what you need to do just for fun, just to entertain yourself, maybe out of the moment. Fucking stop. I will not kill them. I will not kill them.
Yeah, really get people concerned.
Yeah.
Really make people worry. Yeah, that's what I should do. All right, what medal are you bestowing upon Arise? Like Maz Kanata to Chewbacca, don't you interrupt me, you son of a bitch.
Stop. Just stop. I give it a gold because
a gold.
I believe this earns a gold.
All right. I'm saying silver. Silver, just because it's fine, but it's,
some of their finest work.
Yeah, that's that's my silver feeling is just like it's good.
Sure.
So, but I'm
if you actually listen to it while you were like
focusing on the music, then maybe I'd feel different.
Maybe who knows?
Who knows? I'll have to give it another try.
Sure.
Today was a long weird day. I was at my parents' place, and then I drove back, and then I had some work to do, and then the work that I had to do got complicated there for a second.
Yeah.
And
then some dude came in and spooked you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
For like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I had to go pick up a TV.
Yeah. At the radio station.
At the Walmart, yeah.
You got confused. You thought it was a Radio Shack for a second.
Oh, I missed that place.
Do you genuinely miss Radio Shack?
I used to buy some weird ass shit at Radio Shack you couldn't buy anywhere else.
Like what?
Like just little electronic pieces. Like if you wanted to fix a little thing, there's nowhere you can go but Radio Shack for
a
little piece. Like just had this wall of just bins of weird shit that you'd never buy anywhere else.
It's true. There aren't really places like that anymore. Where it's just like we've got all your random electronics shit that you. It's weird to me that in this day and age, a store like Radio Shack couldn't survive.
I get it now, though. I actually get that because whereas in my day, hey, my stereo broke. I can just unscrew it and go, oh, these wires here and this electronic panel, whatever, is fried. I can replace that. Well, if your phone is broke or your laptop is broke, you're not fixing it.
But I'm thinking about like cables and shit. The amount of times that I've needed like random HDMI cables or things like that, and I go to a store and they have one.
Sure.
I have one option or power strips, and it's just, all these other bits and baubles of electronics. You go to like a big box department store, you even go to a fucking Best Buy.
Sure.
They have like one or two options, and it's like, why? Give me more, please.
Right. Yeah, I remember when the Sears here went down, and they were selling everything at like 5 and 10%, of its initial cut. I found a 40-foot HDMI cable for like $7.
Jesus.
I'm like, yes, I don't even know what I'm going to use this for, but damn.
Why not?
You know what I ended up using it for was the videos that I would steal on my laptop. I could just run a cord to my TV. We can watch movies.
There you go.
That I got from my buddy. Pirate Bay.
Oh yeah, your friend?
My friend, Pirate Bay.
Your friend who's a sailor.
Yeah, he's a sailor.
Okay. Privateer. I see. So next week, it'll be December.
Yes, it will be.
Next Wednesday, when we get back onto Wednesdays, it'll be December, which means it'll be time for Death Metal December.
Indeed.
So since I'm starting off, I'm going to start with a new album that came out that I'm relatively excited to. I've listened to a little bit of it, and I was like, this has some promise, but it wasn't quite as maybe the band itself isn't as novel as it once was, but it's the new Rivers of Nile album.
Oh, sweet!
Called The Work.
So they have that is their sound mature? Do they become?
It's
what do they? I guess I'll give it a look.
It's a further extension of their sort of progressive death metal sound they had on their previous album, Where Owls Know My Name.
Sure.
That I was obsessed with for like a whole year. But
it was almost nary a podcast where that didn't come up.
Where it didn't get mentioned, but yeah, they're back, and so we'll talk about that next week. Other thing, like there's other new albums that have come out that that like maybe that'll have to get tabled simply because it's Death Metal December and we're sticking with our theme. But like there's a new Converge album out that I really enjoyed.
I enjoyed it as well. I listened to it.
I finally sat down and listened to all of the new Mastodon record, and I'm happy to say that I think I misjudged it. My initial impressions of it, and I think maybe I was just in the wrong mood for it.
Sure.
And I enjoyed myself. It is, I think the part of the problem with the new Mastodon album is it's so fucking long.
Well, yeah,
it's an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half long. It's an hour and a half. And there's like 2 songs below 6 minutes. It's a mammoth of an album.
Sure.
It's a different kind of prehistoric pachyderm.
It's a mammoth album.
A mammoth of an album.
That was another band too. Ooh, yeah, we should listen to Mammoth at some point.
Mammoth.
Yeah.
Not Mammoth, WVH.
No.
Which is Eddie Van Halen's son's gig.
Wolfgang,
Also not Acid Mammoth.
Right. Also love Acid Mammoth.
Acid Mammoth.
They're fantastic.
Ass.
Yeah.
They kick ass.
But there was a band they were sort of alternative metal, and at least their singer was a big fat guy. But
what is it with you and big fat guys in metal?
I don't know.
That you seem to like so much.
What I think it is, the point for me, I think, is when you see a very large, round, rotund person, you think of someone who's out of breath and sits all day.
Sure.
You don't think of someone who puts out the highest energy fucking music on the planet.
some stereotypes there that are being defied.
Right.
I can understand that. I think of like the drummer from Silent Planet, who also have a new album that I enjoyed.
Sure.
He's a heavy guy, but he's goddamn can he flickety flam them drums. Just ghost notes everywhere.
Sure.
Which as I understand are not an easy thing to pull off as a drummer. But yeah.
So, fat drummers are amazing.
Fat drummers. What's up, we're fat drummer. That's got to be like a hardcore punk band or something.
Fat drummer,
or a genre that I'm going to coin, which is beer punk.
Beer punk,
yeah, which is like it's punk music that's specifically focused on just getting absolutely shittered, which really was just kind of punk music for quite a while.
Although there was a very large straight edge movement.
Yes.
Remember that?
It was either or. You were either straight edge or you're a fucking alcoholic. There's no in between.
Yeah, I used to love it. Because we had an underground punk scene here in Minot, and I would go to the shows because it's fun. That's some fun ass shit.
Yeah.
I like punk rock.
Punk shows are fun.
And I'd go there and I'd see all my friends, and I'd be drunk and I'd be eating a sausage. And here's my straight edge vegan friends.
Just sitting in the corner judging you.
Yes.
Giving you the stink eye. Yeah, like I'm not the biggest hardcore punk fan in the world, but I absolutely love going to hardcore punk shows. They're a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
It's just so high energy. When you are like at risk of getting fucking brained with the microphone entirely on accident because the singer is in everybody's face.
Right.
That's a good time, in my opinion. You know.
Or when you look up and the singer, not this band, by the way, not local. They're a nationally loved band that's underground still, and you look up and one of her boobs is hanging out and the nipple is bleeding, and
oh boy,
going, well, this is a show. She's really getting into this.
This is music.
This is where it's at, man.
This is art. Dude.
Yeah
All right, so speaking of art, next week The Work by Rivers of Nile.
Yes.
In Death Metal December. Until then, thank you very much for listening to this episode. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. The name Bronze Metalist. Follow our pages there.
Sure.
You know, we'll send out a tweet or a post whenever we upload a new episode. Otherwise, just subscribe to our feed on your Apple Podcast app.
Sure.
Or on Libsyn's The Podcast Source. There you go. That's all the things. Thanks for listening to the Bronze Metalist Podcast. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ. Congratulations.